Good morning. Good morning. I forgot to send a message to my peeps, my channel. Let me do that really quickly. I think I can do it from my phone. We shall see. Um, how do I share it from here? You guys know how? Good morning, Miss Jenny. How are you this morning? I am just sending a note real quick inside of my channel on my page, and then we will be ready to get started. I'm super excited for this morning. Um, we'll see how the sticks, how much they love me today. We'll see what happens, right? I'm sorry, you guys. Give me 1 second. Paste and send. Okay. Good morning, Chris. How are you? Hey, Andrea. How are you doing this morning? Okay. I just wanted to send a message on my channel, on my Facebook page, just in case. I always like to get last minute reminders. Let me check my sound. I think I have the wrong mic on. Okay, how does my sound, you guys? Hey, next chapter, how are you this morning? You guys know what? I'm a little tired this morning. I'm a little groggy. So if I get a little loopy, y'all just look over me. Um, I'm a little loopy this morning, but I'm okay. I always feel like on the mornings where I have nothing to do, like I just wake up and I can't go back to sleep. And then on the mornings where I need to wake up and get moving and get stuff done, I'm exhausted. What is that? Hey, Beth, how are you this morning? What is that? Can you guys tell me something? What does that mean? So today you guys were working in our journal. For those of you who are new here, my name is Royce Hunt Bell, and I'm the founder and operator of Royce Cycle the Treasures. We meet here every Monday at 10 a.m. for our Mad Scientist Monday. And why is it a Mad Scientist Monday? Because our goal here on Monday is not perfection. It's not even a specific end goal. Our goal is to experiment and see what happens. So we're really asking ourselves the question, what would happen if, right? And I usually try to start with a tip at the beginning of our session, and then we'll move into our game. And so let's get started. Okay, so you guys should see my shop. I have stuff everywhere. So this morning, last week, we started talking about, good morning, Connie. How are you? Good morning, Beth. Anxiety. Okay. So this morning, you guys, we're going to be talking. Why do I feel like, am I right? I feel like I'm not right. Well, I'm not all the way right. You guys know that. But I mean, like, I feel like my thing isn't right. Okay. So I'm working in the Roy Cycle Journal this morning. And I have a page open already because before we get started, I want to talk to you guys about laying down paint. Now, we've been talking the last couple of weeks about ways of laying down paint. Hey, Elizabeth, that don't involve a paintbrush, right? So we've used our brayer to lay down paint. We've used a squeegee or a rubber brush to lay down paint. Last week, you guys, oh, I finger painted. I took one for the team. We did finger painting. This week, this is actually something that I love to do. It's really cool. Oh man, do I have any clear gesso out here? That is white gesso. Okay, it's okay. Cheat. So today we're going to lay down paint in a different way. But before we get started, I do want to seal my page. Earlier today, I used clear gesso, but I left the clear gesso in the house. So I'm just going to use some decoupage medium. It's fine. I have decoupage. This is decoupage varnish and glue, the matte formula by Pint Art. And I'm just going to lay down a really quick coat. I'm going to be misting my page with some water. And so I want to make sure that I'm not going to I don't want my pages to absorb a bunch of water. So I like to lay down a barrier. Now, we've talked in the past about ways to prep your journal pages. And I do have a resource for that. So if you guys want that, let me know. And I can pop a QR code up. But I think everyone who's here has it already. Good morning, Sherilyn. Didn't you put out a way to prepare? I did. Who was asking me that? I did. I put out a way, Jenny, yes, different ways to prepare your pages, right? That's one thing. But now we're talking about different ways to apply paint because you can do so much more than just use a brush, you guys. There are so many other ways to be able to apply paint. And so, for the sake of what we're doing every week, I'm going to be prepping my pages, not prepping my pages, but putting my first layer of paint down using a different way every week. And we'll kind of talk about the pros and cons and like when would you use that, right? Like when would I use the way that I'm going to be using right now to lay down paint versus just using a paintbrush. And for the sake of today, I would do this. Usually if sometimes when I open a page or when I start a canvas, I'm kind of stuck. And so that was weird. And so I want to put some interesting marks down on my page to get my brain kind of going, right? Hey, Kelly, good morning. Oh, Jenny, do you need a copy of that resource? Let me, so this is the QR code, 5 acrylic mediums, and this is 5 ways for you to prep your journal pages. So you can use this QR code and you can get that. I want to say I don't know if I have a Word programmed on Facebook or not. And you guys, when you sign up to get any of my resources, do know that you are signing up to be a Recycled Insider. So you will get additional emails. Um, so just know that. I had 5 people report me, or 9 people report me for abuse on my email. I was like, what? Good morning, Karen. Hey, Flea. Um, Anyways, so I just put down just a quick layer of decoupage medium on my page. And, that just seals it, right? So that when I spritz it right now with water, where is my mister? It's way over there. You guys, I moved my studio all around for our furniture piece last night. Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh, I can just take that part off. Interesting. I moved my studio all around last night so that we paint furniture together. So now I have stuff spread out where it's not supposed to be. So I'm going to mist my page with some water. I'm not like putting a ton of water. I'm going to show you guys, but I do want, can you guys see that? I want enough water on there so that my paint will like move around. I don't want it to stay put. And for the sake of our exercise, because I'm saying, you know, ways to lay down paint without a paintbrush. Let me see if I can find something that's not a paintbrush. I'll use this to spread my paint around. And I'm just going to put down like 3 dots. I'm using a fluid acrylic. You can use, if you have a white paint, I would like thin it out a little bit first and then do this process. And I don't know what we're going to do. So I don't want to completely get rid of like the stuff behind. So I'm not using as much paint. Maybe one more drop. I just don't want to use so much that I blight out my page, right? I just want to obscure it a little bit and push it back so that I can build on top of it. So I have my paint. I misted it, right? I put some fluid acrylic on there, or you can take your regular paint and water it down a little bit. And now I'm going to go right over the top of this with some saran wrap. I was doing my sample earlier today, and you guys remember when like your saran wrap touched each other? There was nothing on this planet that was gonna like help you to get those pieces apart. And saran wrap just isn't the same anymore. So I'm going to take my saran wrap or my plastic wrap, right? And I'm going to sit it on my page. And you guys, I want a lot of marks. So I'm like going through and purposefully making wrinkles. And you can even be deliberate. Like you can maybe make some, like, maybe you want to make some wings, right? You can go through and kind of deliberately shape those wrinkles if you want. And so I have my saran wrap and my paint is under there. The drawback of this is that you have to be patient because you're only going to get the result if you allow this to dry. If you pull it up while it's still wet, you'll get some marks, but it won't be as much and it won't be as like, it won't stand out as much. So I have a magic one already done. Putting TV magic. And so, and this one really isn't all the way dry. I just did it like an hour ago. Now I'm going to pull this up, but it's dry enough that I think my marks are going to be on there. But you guys see what I mean? Like how cool are those marks on my paper? Can you see that? I just love this so much. And so like if you're stuck and you're not sure where to go, or if you're like thinking that you need some more motivation, something like this can really be helpful because it's going to create something for you to respond to. So like when I look at this, I see a lot of different things. I see stones, right? I could, you know, play with this idea to make some stones, or I could just leave it like this and build on it, which is probably what we're going to do today because I don't know what we're going to do. I'm going to dry it and try to get rid of that shine. I think it's shiny though, because the plastic is so smooth. So the paint dried really smooth. And so now it's shinier, but that makes it a little bit harder to show you guys the texture. But I think you guys see that? So cool, right? Now I have this really cool texture, which I could never have gotten with a brush, right? So that's our kind of demo today of another way to lay down paint that does not include using a paintbrush. So let's get to the sticks. Hey, Rajani, how are you? The magic of TV, right? I can cook a whole cake with the magic of TV. So I have my sticks here that I've made. You guys, I have this game available for you guys if you want to play along with me. I'll get the QR code for that. And this is the mixed media mashup game. If you guys would like to play along, you can download this. And it comes in a flat paper, and you have to cut the pieces and apply them to your sticks. But if you would like to play with me on Monday mornings, you can by drawing your own sticks, or you can just use whatever I draw, right? And so each of these sticks has a different product or process. So this one says texture, This one says collage. This one has stamps. This one has stencils, right? And on the bottom, there are different prompts. Physical over paper. So texture is physical effects texture over the paper. This one is a transfer. So a transfer over a dark surface. So these are my prompts or my challenges. And this game, it does stress me out a little bit to be here live with you guys on Monday to play this game. Because I'm not cheating. I don't know what I'm going to do until I'm here with you guys. And so every Monday is an adventure. Some Mondays we get a finished project. Some Monday we find out what if, what happens if. Sometimes we finish, sometimes we don't. But every Monday we get to play, right? And discover. And that's the purpose of our time here together. Good morning. Oh, watching the granddaughter. Little girls are so precocious, aren't they? I just think it's so interesting, generally speaking, the difference between little boys and little girls. Because my granddaughter, I don't know, y'all, she cracks me up. Okay. I'm just mixing my sticks up because I'm hoping to not draw the exact same thing. So I'm closing my eyes. You guys can see me. Okay, I'm closing my eyes and I am just going to pick 4 random sticks. And we talked about this last Monday because Megan from Pint Art and Decoupage Queen was here with me last week. I'm choosing 4. If you feel like 4 is too many for you, you pick however many is comfortable for you. If you want to pick out 1 stick, that's fine. Ooh, I picked out 2 of the same. I really do that. So I picked out underpainting twice. So I'm going to put this back and I'm going to choose a different stick. Stencils. Okay. So underpainting, I have to use bright colors in my underpainting. And then for painting, I have to do dark edges, which you guys know I love to do anyways. A raised stencil. Oh, wow. I have to use texture today with a raised stencil. And then I have to make some DIY tape. I really need to take this one out. I'm going to take this one out only because this is like a whole lesson in and of itself to make some DIY tape. So I'm going to choose another one. It just extends our time too far. And honestly, I got to get to the warehouse today, y'all, because I have orders to get out. And then DIY stamp. Lord have mercy. I should just take DIY out, period, because I don't have time to do that stuff while we're live. Oh, collage, decoupage scraps. Okay, we can do that. So I have collage using decoupage scraps, raised stencil, and I have to paint dark edges, which you guys know I love doing that anyways, and an underpainting. And the reason I took these out is because literally each of these would probably take like 15 to 20 minutes. And we only have a short time together. And so I just don't have time. I really should pull all of the DIY sticks out of here. If I were home, right, where I wasn't timed, see DIY collage paper, like that's like a whole nother thing. And maybe we'll do these like once a quarter or something. I don't know. So I'll put that right there. So those are my 4 sticks that I have. So let me think for just a moment about what I want to do. Bye, Flea. I don't know, Chris. I like pulling, well, because there's a lot of different categories. And so it's fine. I just take the DIY ones out. And I've only pulled, this is the first time I think I pulled the duplicate, maybe once or twice. So while I think about what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys the new papers, just in case there's somebody here who didn't see the new papers last night. We did a reveal for the new Roycycle Decoupage papers, and I wanted to show them to you guys super quick. For this quarter, I did holiday designs, but I didn't do like super, super holiday. I wanted to create really flexible designs that you guys could use over time. And so And we also have a collaboration with an artist. Her name is Bree Bardot. Super happy to collaborate with her. If you guys want to check out her Instagram, you can find her here using this QR code, or you can look up Bree Bardot. I think it's all one word on Instagram. So I'll show you guys her designs first. This is one of the designs, which is Breeze Horse. And you guys remember that the recycled papers are 21 inch by 29 inch. So these are really large sheets. We have, whoops, I won't show that one first. This is the owl, which I think is going to be the one that everybody loves is the owl. And you guys are looking at these in a little thumbnail. You really cannot see them until you see the sheets up close. There's so much yummy texture, and Brie does a lot of collage and mixed media. So there's texture and spray paint and collage and thick paint and crackled paint. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This is Brie's cherub, and the cherub's eyes are absolutely beautiful when you see them up close. And then this is Bree's project block, which gives you half and half. So you get the smaller owl and the smaller cherub. And then I use my artwork for the first time ever in a release. And so this is, oh dear, you get 2 deer in this one. And so these are pretty big deers because they're half a sheet. So let me see, 21 inches. So they're like 10 by 29. Each of the deer are. And then this is Stellar, one of my Universal Beauties. And so these 2 pieces are actually my own artwork. So be nice, because this is my first time using my artwork in my projects. We'll go over the holiday stuff first. I did make another master board. This is the fall celebration master board. We do have traditional colors of orange, but I also sprinkled in some green, some purple, some burgundy, some jewel tones, just to mix it up a little bit. And then there is a complement to this sheet, which is a plaid. This plaid, I worked really hard to work on the scale of this plaid so that it looks good large. If you're going to work on a larger project, it looks good on a home decor project. And it also looks good on smaller projects. I think the scale is perfect. The next holiday one is our Scrappy Christmas. And again, you have the red and the green, and it looks like Christmas, but it's not specifically Christmas. So you could use it past the holiday. I really wanted to give you guys options to be able to use your paper, like to have longer legs, right? A lot of times for the retailers specifically, we make things that are really, really Christmassy, and 2 months down the road, nobody wants Christmas. And so then they're stuck carrying those papers into the next holiday. But these designs absolutely enable you to make Christmas, but they're not like solely for Christmas. This is Guardian Angel Masterboard, and I love this paper so much. We might look at using this paper today. We'll see what happens. And then we have the Guardian Angel Complement. So this one is essentially the same paper without the angels. This is a beautiful background. If you're making something, the frames and the ornate pieces are really pretty. But if you're using the Guardian Angel, it can be the main focus. And then somewhere else on your project, you could use this to complement the angels. And then I have a couple of pieces that are industrial, because I feel like, my industrial peeps have been left out of the last few launches. So this one is called Brick and Mortar. I love, love, love it. Again, I worked on the scale of these bricks really hard. These bricks will look good on furniture, home decor, and small projects. And the same with the wood. And then we have our industrial map, which is my personal favorite from this launch. And so if you guys are looking for the new designs, be sure and touch base with your recycled retailers, because they should have them in stock. Okay, my commercial's over. Let's get back to the business. Oh, thank you, Kelly. And so our piece today calls for a colorful background that makes me want to use, now it doesn't say what color, it just says colorful, right? So we'll do something there. The paint edges around the dark, that's easy. I love to do that. Raised stencil, and then decoupage scraps. So I'm thinking that maybe I was really hoping to be able to use the angels masterboard. You guys can see the angels are like really sketchy. And so we can add any color we want to them, right? Or we can just leave them this way. I think I cannot wait to see how you guys use this paper. I'm trying to think which one do I want to use. I kind of like her, right? I think so. I'd rather cut a little piece of this off than to cut my other angel. So I'm going to cut her out and I'm going to make a decision that I'm going to use this one. Um, I do have an angel right here and I do not want to sacrifice her. So I may cut my paper a little short, but it's going to be fine. I'm going to go ahead and trim this. And on the new papers, on the master boards, I am being deliberate about leaving a little bit more breathing room around the vignettes on the papers so that it makes it easier for you guys to use them. But it's not blank on the areas behind. It's just the elements are just more subtle is all. This one's pretty soft. There is kind of a texture in the background, but I wanted it to feel ethereal, so I didn't want to pack it with a whole bunch of stuff. But on the other ones, you do have like stuff on there. And the reason why I said it said a colorful background, but it didn't say what color, is because I'm thinking that I'm going to go in and apply a color that would go well with this. And then a raised stencil. Oh, I don't know if I have my, hopefully I can find the stencil that I would like to use with this. Um, it'd be kind of nice to stencil something in here. My brain is thinking. My problem is too that I will often take things back and forth. Like right now, I'm working on a painting, and so I don't know if I took my stack of stencils inside or if they're still out here. So I'm gonna have to look. So you guys give me just a second. I want to decide on what stencil I'm gonna use before we start because I'm thinking that for a colorful background, it might be pretty to do a stencil underneath here and have it show through this paper because the paper isn't white, but it is still pretty light. So I'm curious to see how transparent it will get. But before I start making plans, I'd like to know what stencil I'm going to use. And if you guys are new here, my name is Royce Hunt Bell. I'm the founder, owner, and operator of Recycle Treasures. We meet here on Mondays to play, to experiment, and to ask ourselves what would happen if. So I draw popsicle sticks randomly, and then I have to execute them. So I don't have always have everything like right by me because I literally don't know what I'm gonna need. Um, and I think that, did I put my stencils away? I'm gonna go look at my stencil pile. I'll be right back. I'm thinking, oh, I don't know. I'm not finding what I want. I think I took my damask stencil in the house. Okay. My retailer's going to kill me because this stencil isn't available anymore. Although some people may have it still. So this one, years ago, I made a snow globe and then I made a complimentary that had items that you could put inside the snow globe. But these might be pretty, right? The little snowflakes. Um, so we'll do that. We'll do the snowflakes. And I think that would be pretty. I think I might use and we can do like some raised stencils over the top. That would be fun. So I'm gonna set this one aside and we're gonna use that one. So I have, and then I'm gonna need to use a decoupage scrap. I'm thinking something florally might be appropriate, maybe. Or, hmm, I'm thinking a decoupage scrap that's even either a similar color to this or because I want this to feel soft and ethereal. And so that's why I am trying to be deliberate about what I'm going to add. I mean, because I could do like a butterfly, but I feel like a butterfly doesn't belong on here. Okay, we'll figure that piece. That's going to go on the top. So I'll figure that out later. So as far as a colorful background, let me think. What color do I want to do for my background? Hmm. Hey, Rima. I know, girl. If I'm thinking it's dangerous, it's smoking in here. Um, the sketchy angels. I know, right, Chris? Not that kind of sketchy. Just sketchy. Um, yes, Rajani. It's just about setting aside time for ourselves, right? Especially for those of you who are makers, I think that when we monetize our gift, we stop making time to just like, you know, be. And so this is a good reminder. I'm trying to think of what I want to do because I want her to be soft and ethereal. I think I can kind of cheat because I got to paint darken the edges and paint a dark and then paint a bright undercolor. So I think I'm going to go around the edges with color and leave this middle like this. I mean, it's kind of cheating, but technically I'm still like, I'm still following the rules. And let's do a teal because I don't know, I like it. And it is colorful, right? So I'm not going to do like a brown like I would normally do. So I'm still kind of operating outside of my norm. I don't know where anything is today. Doing furniture 1/4 is gonna cost me some sanity. Okay. This is a piece of plastic. I'm gonna use it for a palette. Um, and how do I want to do this? This color is not dark per se, but it is dark compared to everything else that we're gonna be doing. So I think it'll show up really well. So I am going to probably end up doing a little bit of finger painting because I want this to be like soft, right? I don't want it to be, I probably have too much paint on my brush. I know I said I hate finger painting. I'll do this, but like sticking my hand in the paint like Dion does, I mean, I'm not going to do that voluntarily. It's a sensory thing, which is funny because when I was younger, I was just the opposite. So I'm just going to take this all around the edges and make a halo. I don't even think I need this clip. I think my page has learned to behave. I don't have to clip it into submission. And actually, this page is the start of a new signature, I think. So it's laying open pretty easy. I think that if I just use less paints, I'll get what I want. And I put out way too much paint because I am not going to use all of that. And I think it's funny. I think I approach my pages like I do my home decor pieces. Um, Not necessarily the way other journalists do, like, people doing art journals. But, do what you like. Okay, so I have my halo. I'm going to go over it and make sure it's dry. I should have washed my brushes before coming out today. I did not. So what'd you guys do for 4th of July? We had big celebrations all over town here. I probably missed an opportunity to play with this texture, but the sticks have led us to another direction. We'll do that another day. Because I wonder if the paint would accept color differently than the page. You know what I mean? Okay. I just wanted to make sure that that was completely dry before I went in with to do my decoupage because I don't want to get paint on my paper. So my goal is for my paper to be as transparent as possible. So I'm going to use, I have like, I need to order some more so bad. I have like a little bit of silky shine in here, not that much, but I'm using something glossy. I don't have a lot of gloss in my, I do have heavy body gel. We'll use that. I'll just thin it out a little bit because I do know that the heavy body gel, there's something about it, aside from the fact that it's glossy, because I've used other gloss products before, but the heavy body gel just really makes the paper super transparent. I am going to thin it out just a little bit though. So I'm just going to put it here on my plastic and I'm going to mist some water and just kind of mix it up. just to thin it out a little bit. I don't need it to be this heavy to decoupage with. Or maybe that body is a reason why my paper gets super transparent and I'm ruining it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. What would happen if Royce thinned out the heavy body gel and used it to decoupage with? Would she get the same transparency that she gets when she uses it straight? I guess we will see together, right? And it's still pretty creamy. It's just not as like heavy a body. So I'm going to mist my paper, right? And when I want my paper to be transparent, I am misting all of it. I don't want to have any white marks on there because they'll stay white. I really want to make sure that the paper looks transparent from the water. And then we'll go in. And I was watching Kelly from Whimsical on a podcast, and she mentioned that she likes to mist her water because you can get it to stick to the surface. So you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like when it's decoupaged. I thought that was really cool. So like it's sticking to here with just the water. So I can lay it out exactly how I want it and then go in and decoupage. Now I'm thinking, now that I've done this, I should have painted the back of my angel. I think I still will. Y'all pray for me because we don't know. We're in the danger zone now because I've misted my paper already. And now I'm going to have to use the plastic though to support the paper. Is that paint on the back or the front of this? Let's turn this around so I don't get paint on there. So I'm going to mist this plastic and I'm going to attempt to lay my paper face down on this plastic because I want my angel to be the star. And because I have so much going on in the background, she's kind of disappearing. I don't like that. So I'm going to take a few minutes and I'm going to paint white behind my angel. And that's going to keep it like, I want my paper to be transparent, right? I want that, but I don't want to lose my angel. So I am going to paint her. Jerry Peters is asking what stencil I use. That was the Roycycled. Oh Lord, what's the name of that stencil? It's a Roycycled stencil. You can find it on roycycled.com or with the Roycycled retailer. And it is the Earn stencil. That's the name of it. I am trying to stay pretty tight inside of my angel. And I'll leave the rest to look like, floaty and ethereal. And if I were doing this on top of just a white background without any, texture or anything, I wouldn't have to do this, right? Because I wouldn't have to worry about anything but the white showing up on the backside. But because we are putting this over a background that's pretty busy, I just want to make sure that I do not lose my angel. So I'm literally just painting white inside of the angel is all. And maybe I'll do the label too. And I am being pretty deliberate because I'm curious about something. And when I say deliberate, I'm only painting the angel. So I'm not painting any areas around the angel. And I'm not going, over the line for where the angel is. Usually I would just go but I'm curious to see something. And so I'm being deliberate on purpose. And it's kind of fun. And I might be asking a lot of my paper. We'll see what happens because I'm going to dry it and then I'm going to wet it again. I'm causing problems. Should I do the label? I vote yes. Whoops, I got some more angel down here too. I love the fact that I have options. Like I can take advantage of the transparency of the paper, or I can make the paper more opaque. And I'm out of paint and I'm not going to squirt anymore. So we're going to call it with this. I'm going to dry this really quickly and then we'll mist it and decoupage it. That's what I said. I'm asking a lot of my paper. So we'll see what happens. Okay, Jerry, I'll work on getting that out to you guys. I am so sorry. If you guys have ordered from me in the last 2 weeks and your order is slow getting out, I do apologize. Whenever we have a launch, we have like a mountain of wholesale orders to get through, and I try to take care of my retail orders in between to stay, caught up. But um, it's interesting because we launched for the retailers a while ago and a lot of people ordered, but when we get close to actually launching to the public, we always get another rush of orders. And so we're a little behind, but we're going to get caught up soon. No. Okay, Jenny. I hope you find money under the washer. Somebody went to a parade. Yeah, we had a parade here too. They had a pancake breakfast, a parade, something at the fairgrounds. Um, I don't know. There was stuff all over town. Poor David, because he was like back and forth between the events because he covers, for the radio. So he was at the pancake breakfast at 6 a.m. I want to say in Pima, I think. Then back home. And then for the parade, he was back out and then back home. And then at our fairgrounds, there was another event. So here in our community, our municipalities all work together to create like one big, experience for everybody here. And so each town sponsored something different. It's pretty cool to see everybody work together. Okay. You guys see how that stayed white when I misted my paper? That's what's gonna happen when I decoupage it. I say that with confidence. No, I'm just kidding. That's what's gonna happen. So now that I have on the plastic, I'm gonna go ahead and just put my medium down and we'll get her down and get started. And we'll see y'all if I tear this paper because I am asking a lot. I've misted it once and I've painted it and I misted it again. I'm just gonna use this full strength. And I guess the one good thing about me using the gel is it stays open longer. So theoretically, I should be able to reposition my paper, although I've already abused her, so we'll see how much she can take. The good thing about the plastic is you can see through it, so you can see how you're positioning your paper. So I shouldn't have to do too much repositioning. I'm going to make sure and look from the side to try to make sure I have coverage everywhere. We don't want any bubbles, right? And my hot mess piece of paper I grabbed here. Having it on this plastic does give me a little bit of, because I'm not handling the paper on its own. And then in order to take advantage of the transparency, I really want to go over this before it dries. And I'm still going to have to make some adjustments. Oh, Lord. It's because I didn't take my time. If I would have taken my time and used like a nice flat piece of plastic, I would have been okay. But y'all know I'm a mess, right? And I just ran my nail over that like it was dry paper. Okay. So I'm going to go right over this right away with my gel medium. I got a bubble under there. Push that out. And the cool thing is you can see everything that's underneath here. Um, I want to steal a piece of this paper to put right here in this corner. So that everything looks cohesive and nobody will ever know. Remember where I clipped it because I didn't want to clip my other angel? Stick another piece of paper right there. Now this one I did with my nail. I might have to use a scrap piece of decoupage to go over that. Okay. Oh my gosh, my paper survived, y'all. I wasn't sure. That was a lot, right? If that had been a napkin, it'd be shreds right now. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and dry this, and then we'll see what we're going to do for next steps. What do you guys think? Hey, Janet, how are you this morning? Yes, Andrea, the layers are the fun part. And so it's kind of cool because our white that we did kind of looks like clouds in the background. You see them? That texture? And you can still see the script too from the journal that's also coming through. So we do have at this point, we have 3 layers, 4 if you count the paint around the edges. But let's get it dry and then we'll figure out what this corner is not. I'm going to show you guys what happens when you don't wet the paper. Because this corner is a little bit more opaque because it was drying and I just tacked it down. But let's dry this and then we'll figure out what we're going to do next. This little tear right here is bothering me. but I'll just mend that. But I'm going to dry this and stop messing with it. And then we'll just put a little on the piece of paper right there. Now I still have the challenge. I've used a bright color under my paper and we've done the dark edges. And so I still have the raised stencil and the do decoupage scrap. Thank you, Janet. I'm glad you're here. Oh, Chris, I'm so sorry. Hey, Robin, how are you? There was a lot of moisture going on, right? Between the misting of the water and misting it again and using the thicker medium too, right? But you guys see how the angel is standing out more. And I was really intentional about how I painted her because I wanted just her to stand out. And I'm happy to see that that is exactly what happened. It's still pretty subtle. She doesn't look like she doesn't belong, but she does stand out against the background, which I may go on and put some shadow around her so that she stands out even more. Welcome to the madness, Robin. This is the Mad Scientist Lab here on Mondays. We're asking ourselves what would happen if, and then we're seeing. And you guys, if you're working in your journal pages and you're looking for community to be able to share like more of your like mixed media or your journal pages, I did make another group, not because you cannot share in the regular recycle upcycling with decoupage group, just because I think it's a little bit more a different vibe, right? So this is the Creative Growth Lab, and this is the QR code. So if you would like to join us in the Creative Growth Lab, I would love to have you. It's a place for us to like continue the conversations that we have on Monday. And so we're doing some playing and some discovering inside of the group. You can share your journal pages. You can ask questions about products if you're like confused about what to go with what, all those kind of things inside of the Growth Lab. And so I realized that I've kind of shifted. I haven't shifted. I'm still upcycling and repurposing, but I'm kind of diving a little bit deeper into the mixed media and journaling. So I wanted to create a space for those of you who are more interested in that, as opposed to the upcycling and repurposing. Okay. I think she's dry enough for me to figure out. I'm so upset because I want to use the damask stencil, but I can't find it. So I'm making a pouty face. You guys can't see that. Inside of our membership, you guys, we've been playing with plaster. And so this was a board that we did. The plaster that we use is Athenian plaster, I think is the name of it. And it dried a little bit more transparent than I expected. But like, how awesome would it be to make some little tiles with the angels with plaster around them, right? Anyways, that's not done, but that was an experiment that we did last weekend, I think. Oh yeah, but I do have my snowflakes. So one of my sticks has me doing a raised stencil. And so we're going to do a raised stencil over the top of this. And I'm thinking, do I have any of, see if I have any of my lightweight light modeling paste here is what I'm looking for. The light modeling paste from Pint Art is really nice because it stays um, bendy. That's not the word I'm looking for. I'll be right back. Hold on. I'm so sad. I really do wish I had my damask stencil, but I don't. I just need to get over it, right? Say, Royce, get over it. You don't have the stencil. Move on. Okay, so we're going to use some snowflake stencils. And I'm going to put some raised stencils. I'm just thinking about, do I want to color modeling paste? Is that what I want to do? Or do I will just leave it white. I think some white will be some contrast, and so that'll be nice. So this is Pent Art's light modeling paste. I do love the light modeling paste because it stays flexible, so it's not gonna like get super hard and just chip off of your page. So even though it's a paste, it's still appropriate to use inside of your journal. And I'm gonna have to like make a decision what I want to do. I think I'm gonna do I want three? Three seems like too many. I wish I could do these three small ones, but I know that my paste really isn't gonna dry fast enough for that. So we'll do this larger one off edge so that, oh Lord, I stuck my stencil in my paint. We'll do this larger one off edge. That way it can still occupy the same space that I'm seeing in my head, right? Because I'm doing the paste, once I pull it up, I'm not going to reposition this. So this is why I'm doing this. There's a really pretty piece there, and I don't want to necessarily put my snowflake over that. If you guys are wondering, like, what am I fiddling about with over here? So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to take it, and this is like, you guys remember the marshmallow fluff we used to have when we were younger? This is what it looks like. You know what? I thought about it, Chris, but I do need some, como se dice, contrast. And so I think the bright white is going to give us some contrast. But I did think about using the teal in the modeling paste. And I don't know how well my Big Star did. Yeah, I could tell. I was struggling with this one because it's on this page. But I'm going to leave it. Now I put those up there, so I feel like I need to do something down here, but I'm just going to do one. One in the corner right here. And that's too much. You want to make sure that you have good contact with your surface when you're doing a raised stencil so that you get a clean application. And then for this will get like really hard. So I want to make sure I clean this off right away. So I'm going to wipe it with my alcohol wipes. I probably, well, I didn't know I was going to be doing raised stencils. If I knew I was going to be doing raised stencils, I would have a container with water in it, right? So I could clean these off right away, but I'll just wipe them. It'll be fine. Especially this little one, because I don't want it to I don't want my little details to get clogged up with fiber paste or with modeling paste, because then when I go to use it again, I won't get the detail that I want from it. So I just wipe that off and I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. Let's dry this modeling paste. And this one, you guys see what I mean? I really didn't have good contact with the surface when I did this one. So modeling paste went underneath the stencil a little bit. So you really want to make sure that you press down and you have really good contact with your surface. So like this one was fine, right? It's butamus, but this one is smudgy. One of the things that I'm working on in my own creativity, you guys know how like I feel like we all have specific gifts, like things that are easy for us, But then there's always the parts that we have to work on, right? And I think it's true for anybody. And for me, it certainly is true. One of the things that I see myself needing to work on is my like my value stories and my pieces, because I have a tendency to stay in a very close value range, meaning that everything is kind of the same. Even my angel, she's bright, but she it could be a little bit brighter. I'm debating on whether or not I want to go over her with a transparent white. I don't know if I have a transparent white out here though. I don't want to go over her with a an opaque white because I don't want to lose all the details, but I would like to brighten it up just a little bit. And just get those dry enough so that they're not gonna mess up if I touch them. Let me see if I have a transparent white paint here. I don't think I do. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Let's so I did my raised stencil, and then we still want to do some collage from scraps. So that piece I haven't done yet. Oh Lord, it's 11 o'clock already. The time goes by fast. I said I wasn't going to be on for more than an hour today. That's what I told myself. I lied to myself, y'all. It's just hard to make it through because I have to have time to think through the process too. Here's a little seal or a stamp. I'm going to steal this stamp off of here. We'll put that on there. I like to like stack my things on top of each other and not just have one. So I'm actually stealing two stamps from this piece of paper that I had left over from another project. Um, this one also has like, okay. So I'm gonna put these on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ask me why that just came in my mind right now. Why? Why? I do not know. It just did. And I also wanted to get off today because Jonathan and Megan are going to be on L&J Goods today. And I want to see what they're up to over there. So this is me just putting a piece of the scrap, decoupage scrap on here. And I don't know why I'm still using this gel. The heavy body gel is fine. It's not my favorite for tissue, um, just because it's thicker and I like working with thinner when I'm working with my tissue paper. And I'm going to kind of stack this. I think I'll do that. And I'm going to go over my whole page with this matte decoupage medium because you guys know I don't care for shiny. And I think that this is all we're going to get done today. What do you guys think? And like I've said before, I have some pages that I've done that I've absolutely loved. I have some pages that were like fine. And I have some pages that I don't care for. But I learn something new every time I sit down to create. Every single time. Even if it's just maybe I've seen an idea on a video, but I haven't actually done it myself. And so in the act of doing it myself, I've kind of committed it to memory, like to my body's memory, right? So that when something calls for me to do it again, I'm more likely to remember it. You guys will notice when I started out painting my edges, I had a lot of paint on my brush, right? And then as I worked my way around, I kind of tweaked the way I was approaching it. And I used less paint and more swirling. And so it's those little tweaks that we do when we're doing that help us to grow. Because now the next time I go to do a halo in my journal, I will likely start off with less paint, right? And work my way around as opposed to starting off with more paint. And I'm using this little brush because all my brushes are dirty. I'm going to have to wash them today. I have told myself that I can only have so many brushes out here so that I have to wash them, which I'm having a love-hate relationship with that decision. Just saying. Because I am having to brush a lot more often, but it's keeping me from mounting up like an insane amount of brushes too. Before I wash them, I'm going to dry this. I do want to go around her really quickly and put on a little bit of a thank you. Hey, Tracy. And I could stamp something right here in this little label. Maybe it could be peace, joy, love, you know what I'm saying? Something. If you're doing something for the holidays. But like I said, these papers, do they read Christmas? Absolutely. But are they like, solely Christmas? Absolutely not. You can use these any year. And I love the way the stamps came out on there. My smushy raised stencil, not so much, but I do love the stamps. I feel like the teal is beautiful, but the paper is not white, right? It's kind of the gold. And so when it's mixed with that gold color, it's reading a little more green than teal. And so with the red and the teal, it's feeling like Christmas. I would have much rather used my damask stencil on this than the snowflakes, but she is done. Um, I will likely go over this with some matte medium because it's still a little bit more shinier than I would like. And to stamp something, I do want to give her, I feel like she's disappearing into the background a little more than I would like. And so my page is still like a little sticky almost. It's dry, but it's not completely dry. So I'm going to take advantage of that and add in a little bit of some charcoal. And I'm not going to put it around all of her, right? I should actually probably put white in the front. Like if I'm going to put charcoal on this side, it would make more sense for me to use a white charcoal around the front of her. And do I have, I don't have Posca pens, but I have, do I want to do that though? So if I use a marker, it's going to make it a lot more graphic. Maybe if I used a pen, it wouldn't be. This pen is thinner, so it's going to give me the light I'm looking for without like a big line. A thick line. You guys know what I'm saying? Like I think this thin line is going to give me what I want, but still be more subtle. And I'm being a little sketchy, Chris. Now I'm being sketchy, Chris, with my lines because I don't want it to look really graphic. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's the look that you're going for, but it's not the look that I'm going for. So I want to have the light there, but I don't want it to look. And honestly, I could probably use some shadow right there and a highlight right here. I'm getting a little bit into the weeds a little bit, you guys, but bear with me. Anywhere where I see shadow on her, I'm going to go in with shadow on this side. Okay. So you see, oh, I love that so much. I'm tempted to do it all the way around. I'm going to do it. Lord have mercy. Y'all pray for me. We do have shadow though, so there'll be like a cast shadow on the other side of all this. And the charcoal does look a little graphic, but I like it a lot. Because now she stands out more, right? She's not just disappearing into the background. So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for joining me for Mad Scientist Monday. Remember, when we come together on Mad Scientist Monday, we are not looking for perfection. We are experimenting and asking ourselves what would happen if. We are playing because we know that where experimentation goes, creativity and creative growth follows. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys have a blessed week. Be sure and join us next Saturday. We'll be live for Chatting and Crafting with Royce and Dave. If you are looking for a retailer or you're looking for products, you can find them at roycycle.com. You guys have a blessed day and we'll see you. Right? It makes the white pop. I know. I don't, you guys know I love a good dark halo. But you guys have a blessed week and I'll see you next time. Bye.